Hello. Okay, if anybody's online, can you say hello or something in the chat box so I can see that you're there? The chat box is just to the side of the oh, my brain's really not working this morning. The side of the video. I think you need to be logged into Google to be able to use the chat box. But if you're there, if you can just say hello and tell me who you are, and then I'll know that everything's working okay. Unlike last week where I was talking for 20 minutes before I found out no one could hear me. Hi. Right, I don't know how to pronounce your name. Is it Iluska? Iluska, maybe. Okay. Oh, hi, Heather. So you can hear me okay? Everything's working. Right, I'm very croaky today, I will warn you, and I'm going to have to drink water as we do this. Okay. So now I'll try not to get distracted by the chat box, because that's what usually happens. All right, then let's get started. I'm sure more people will turn up as we go along. Excuse me. Right, thank you for coming. I know, everyone's really busy, so I'll try and keep this condensed so we can get through it quickly. While we're just waiting for a few more people to hop on, I've got a quick quiz for you. Which of these is not true? I once dressed up as Death to go to a 70s disco. Number 2, my mum dressed me up as a block of cheese and sent me to school. Or number 3, I once dressed up as a shark and served candy floss from a cage. So which one is not true? I dressed up as Death and went to a 70s disco. My mum dressed me up as a block of cheese and sent me to school. Or I dressed up as a shark and made candy floss and served it from a cage. Any ideas? Heather thinks the shark. Who's got any ideas? Who do you think? Which one do you think is not true? Your mum would so do the cheese thing. Yeah, actually she did. She sent me to school as a block of cheese. It was a fancy dress thing at the time. And I also dressed up as Death to go to a 70s disco. I didn't dress as a shark and make candy floss in a cage, but I know a man who did. Right. I'm sorry about the coughing through here. Right. Quick intro for who doesn't know me. I'm Jo Ebisujima. I'm a Brit. I live in Japan. And I run jojoebi.com. And my big thing is helping parents help their kids fall in love with learning. So I think learning is a really important thing that kids need to enjoy. And often school these days, they suck the life out of the kids, and so they stop enjoying reading and learning and having fun. So I want parents to be able to help their kids do that. I'm Montessori trained, so I used a lot of Montessori techniques in my training, and I also taught ESL for years and years, so a lot of that teaching experience comes in as well. And then the other thing that I do is help other mums get their businesses off the ground, get them brainstorming ideas that they can do, other ways to bring income in, and that kind of thing. So kind of two different aspects. So today's call is about the mastermind. So I've got the In With The Boom mastermind that starts tomorrow. And one of the questions that I got a number of people asking me was, what's the difference between a mastermind and a coach and accountability partner and a mentor? And a lot of confusion. I think if you're kind of new to the business world, especially the online business world, these kind of things are sort of confusing, especially if you've never done one before. So I wanted to clear that up a bit and explain exactly what's going to go on in With The Boom, so you can make the decision whether it is the kind of thing that you need or not. So I have had accountability partners, I've been coached, I've been in masterminds, I've done group coaching, I've got mentors. So I'll explain how this all works from my point of view. So, somebody else might think differently, but this is how I feel about the different things. So the setup for all these can be very different. So you can do them in person or over Skype or, like conference calls. They can be done through email only, in person, and like retreats. You often hear people going on a weekend retreat or a weekly retreat or whatever. You could have weekly like coffee meetings, private membership groups. So there's like lots of different ways for these to be presented, and none of them are right or wrong. It just depends on the situation. So in With the Boom, we will have the Facebook group and daily check-ins, and we'll have calls every 2 weeks. So coaching. Coaching is usually one-on-one. But you can also get group coaching situation, and some coaches will do like a combination of both. So you'll get one-on-one time plus the group coaching. Excuse me. So usually a coach is specialized in a specific area. So they might be a business coach or a life coach or a health coach. They've got specific skills in a particular area. They'll keep you accountable and on track, and a coach will often figure out what's holding you back and where you're going wrong and help you to get right onto the right track or whatever. I think a lot of people choose one-on-one coaching because they feel more comfortable than in a group situation, especially when you're kind of starting out. I think sometimes you feel embarrassed because you don't know enough. And so doing a one-on-one thing is a bit easier. And often coaches go for a longer term period because you can get results better in that way, or you can see the results better. So often you'll see coaching programs like 6 months or something. Not always. Some coaches specialize in, like fast results. So they'll be like, okay, we'll do a 2-week intense coaching, or we'll do a VIP day, which is what I used to do. And we'd do 6 hours and really go at it, really intense and in depth. So, there's lots of different ways that you can be coached. I think coaching is good if you need specialized skills. So if you're in business, say that you really need help with marketing, then it would be good to hire a marketing coach. Or if you're really stuck with maybe the tech side of some stuff, you could get, like a Facebook ads coach or something like that. I'm so sorry. Okay, the next one is masterminds. So masterminds can be paid or free. And Napoleon Hill, who's the author of Think and Grow Rich, he refers to the mastermind as coordination of knowledge and effort in spirit of harmony between 2 or more people for the attainment of a definite purpose. So with a mastermind, you tend to work together as a group. So the one person will come up with a problem or an issue and say, I need help with this. And everyone will brainstorm ideas on how to fix the problem or how to address the problem or what needs to happen next. So it's very much a matter of more brains than one sort of thing. With a coach, even with the coach grouping, tends to be the coach running the call or whatever and addressing each person's issues rather than everybody jumping in and helping. The mastermind tends to be more that everybody helps the one person rather than the one-on-one coaching situation. So it can be a group from, like, I suppose 2 I'd thought really 4 is a good number to start with, up to say 20. I know some of my friends are in quite big mastermind groups, and you all work together to achieve your goals by helping each other. You learn from each other, which is great. Obviously, when you've got a group situation, everybody brings different skills and things that they've learned in the past. So you can learn from each other in that way, and you can share each other's skills. So you'll often find in a group there'll be somebody who's a wordsmith who's excellent with words, or there's somebody who's got a design eye. That's usually me in the group. I'm usually the one who's like, oh, you should change that font, or you move this to there, or whatever. So you can get help and feedback from what you're putting out there. You can pull resources, and this is really good because as you've come from different environments, maybe you've worked in corporate situation before, maybe you've always been an entrepreneur, but everyone's got different resources that they use, or they know of something. So they'll say, oh, I haven't used this, but I've heard good things, and you can pass it on. So that's a really good benefit as well when you've got a group situation. Multiple individual brain power, so everyone is using their brains together. A bit like the resources, the connections. So the whole 6 degrees of separation thing. Often there'll be somebody, say you want to write a book and you need a publisher. Then somebody in the group will be like, oh, my brother-in-law is a publisher for, I don't know, Oxford University Press or something. And you get these connections that you don't get as much when you're working just one-on-one with a coach. So there's a lot more of the networking going on. And in the masterminds that I've done in the past, that has been one of the big advantages, is that there's always somebody who knows somebody. And then there's the difference between the paid masterminds and the free. So I've done both. I was in a really good free mastermind when I was going through B school. We were all in Japan initially. And we've all become really good friends. And although we don't meet as a mastermind anymore, whenever one of us has got a problem, we can just, gather the group together and say, oh, can you help me out with this? And, we still help each other out. So that was free, but we were all working through B school and we all had a common cause. And we all had very different businesses, although we were kind of at a similar stage. And paid mastermind, I was in one last year, and there were, I think there was 16, maybe 20 in the group initially, but then dropped down to 16. And because it was paid, you did the work. So it makes a big difference. It's like an extra motivation thing. Excuse me. Yeah, Heather says, coach kicks your butt, mastermind solves your immediate problems. Yeah, and yeah, strength in numbers. So, yeah, being in a paid mastermind, and usually coaching is a paid situation as well. You've got money in the game, and you're more likely to do the work. You're more likely to see results because you've actually put money down. I've found with the masterminds which were not paid, like a free one where a group of us have just got together, people tend to drift off, or they don't commit as well, or it's not their top priority. But when there's money in there, people do commit and they do the work and end up being more helpful because they know they're going to get their investment back. If they help in the group, then other people are going to help them. It's that psychology of, what's the word, oh, I don't know, that you help somebody so they feel guilty, so they help you back. Not only is my brain not working, my throat's giving up too. Right, so that's coaching and masterminds. So there's also accountability buddies. Now, I've had an accountability buddy since starting B School. In fact, I had two together at one stage. So I've got one at the moment. So we've been together maybe 18 months. And this works really well, but you've got to find the right person. So when I joined the paid mastermind, that must have been about 18 months ago. I can't remember now. The coach who was running the mastermind paired us up, and the first person she paired me up with, it just didn't work at all. We were completely opposite kind of personality. She was very negative. I don't know why she was even in the group. She was at a completely different stage in her business, and she didn't want to commit the time for the accountability. So we were supposed to meet every 2 weeks and for an hour, and she didn't want to commit that time. So from the offset, it was really hard because I felt like I was doing all the work, and it just didn't gel. And then that kind of fizzled out very quickly. And then another girl in the group who we'd kind of conspired to be accountability buddies before the group started. We got together and said her accountability buddy didn't work out either. So we got together, and we've been together for about, must be getting on for 18 months. And we very much complement each other. So we have very similar sense of humour. We're both very committed to our business. Although our businesses are completely different, we can help each other out with, we do the launching and everything like that. So we know all about that, and we can help each other out in that way. And we do it every 2 weeks. And that works because if it's every week and you're a mom, often things like a sick day or, the kids are off school for a day kind of throws a spanner in the work, and you don't get as much done as you like. But 2 weeks seems to work better because you can make up that time in the second week, or, if you think next week the kids are going to be off for 2 days, so I've got to do extra this week. So it kind of works better when it's over a 2 week span. So, so your accountability buddy needs to be somebody very like-minded, similar kind of level business-wise, or, if you're doing diet or fitness or whatever it is, similar kind of goals. You both need to be motivated. If you've got, this is where often it goes wrong, is if you get an accountability buddy and you pick a friend, and then your friend is the kind of person who's like, can't be bothered today, or couldn't be bothered, I just ended up watching TV. They're not going to help you, they're going to drag you down. So you've got to pick your friend or your accountability buddy well. It's generally somebody to bounce ideas off, and they might not be really knowledgeable in your business, but they're giving you a different point of view, a different perspective, so they can often come up with ideas that you didn't think of. And you'll find often in group programs, often really big group programs, something like B School, they recommend getting an accountability buddy to help you get through the whole program. So I really like having an accountability buddy. It keeps me on track. And it's good to have somebody that isn't your husband, where you can go and say, oh, this isn't working, or I don't know what to do about this. And, somebody who kind of understands because they're in a similar sort of situation. And finally, there's mentors. So your mentor is, Yuliska said she's tried accountability buddies, but it's not worked for her. Haven't found the right partner. Yeah, that's the whole thing, is until you find the right person, it doesn't really work. And the woman I used to meet up with, and we kind of fizzled out because our schedules started clashing. We were similar sort of situation, and learnt a lot from each other as well. And she's very laid back on Australia, and similar. The time zones makes a difference as well. You know, you need to be similar time zones so you can move your schedule a little bit to be flexible. But yeah, finding the right partner is the key. Okay, mentors. Let me just have a drink. So a mentor is usually somebody that you admire, and you may or may not know them in person. And it's somebody who's very knowledgeable in their field and has specialized knowledge. So, for example, I consider Denise Duffield-Thomas from Lucky Bitch as my money mentor. Or say, and I know Denise, you know, I've chatted with her a few times, and Facebook friends and all that. Or say Nathalie Lucier is like this techie wizard. I consider her my kind of techie wizard mentor. She is very knowledgeable when it comes to like WordPress and all the kind of tech side of stuff. Say Marie Forleo is a business mentor, but it might be somebody even bigger than that. It could be like Tony Robbins, the coach. Maybe you've read everything that he puts out there, or Oprah Winfrey. I know a lot of people love Oprah. She doesn't do it for me. Sorry, Oprah fans, but she's not my cup of tea. So, you know, a lot of people would consider Oprah their mentor, even though they've never met her, but they absorb everything that she puts out and take her advice and really put the advice that she's giving into practice. So other times your mentor could be somebody that kind of takes you under their wing. So when I was doing my Montessori training, I had a very experienced Montessori teacher kind of take me under their wing and help me out and guide me, even though I was doing the training, and she wasn't in the training or anything. She was nothing to do with the training program, but she was there and offered her help, and I could go and ask her questions or, you know, whatever. So she was my kind of Montessori mentor. So often mentors are not paid. It's somebody that's you're gaining advice from one way or another. Obi-Wan Kenobi, yes, an excellent mentor. And your accountability buddy is a fellow Jedi. That is true, if you find the right Jedi and not one that's gone to the dark side. So which is best for you? Now, I can't answer that. I have no idea which is best for you. This is your personal journey, so only you can answer that. And a lot of this, sometimes you'll be at a stage where a coach is what you need right at that moment. And then other times it's a mastermind that you need. And also your personality plays into it. Some people are just not comfortable in a mastermind kind of situation and prefer the one-on-one coaching. Other people don't like to be in the spotlight, as it were, with the one-on-one coaching and would prefer to be in a mastermind situation. So I think it's a very personal thing. I've tried the various different ones. I really like the accountability buddies, if you find the right person. And I really like masterminds. I don't enjoy one-on-one coaching as much. That's just my personal thing. Maybe it's just the coaches that I've had. Perhaps a different coach would be a different thing. So it really is up to you to decide whether you need the accountability from a mastermind or whether you need a coach to kick your butt on a personal level, or whether you just need somebody to check in with on a regular basis. So do you need specialist help? If so, then a coach or a program for that problem would be the way to go. If you're looking for accountability and expanding ideas, growing your business with like new ideas and support, then a mastermind would be a better way to go. So, you know, they've all got their advantages and disadvantages. So Heather says, how do you meet so many people? Is it all down to B School? B School is somewhat like the mafia. Once you're in for life. And a lot of the connections I have met through B School. B School was a linchpin in my business. When I joined, I think there were, I can't remember now, maybe 4,000 people on the course. And now in the B School group, the Facebook group, which didn't include last year's intake because they made their own group for that, there's about 1,400 people. And then from that, there's lots of splinter groups. And then people like Natalie Lucier, Derek Helpburn, who else? Denise Duffield Thomas. These are all B Schoolers and that I've met through B School. So, and as their businesses have grown, you know, it's all that connections and networking thing. So yeah, B School was a big thing for me. I think if you've done a lot of marketing before, the actual content isn't specifically what you need. I hadn't done much marketing. I didn't know much about marketing online or anything like that. So for me, that was really useful. But I think the biggest takeaway was the connections. And yeah, these days, if somebody says, Joe, I need somebody who can help me set up, I don't know, Facebook ads, for example, I'll be like, oh, I know somebody. Or I'll probably know 10 people. So I can just say, well, here, I'll go here. So yeah, that way, connections that way is amazing networking. Is there another way to go? There are a lot of like business groups. Kim Raluna's Freedom Hackers is a really good group. A lot, I mean, because there's the main B School group, but then there's kind of splinter groups. So there's like the B School Mamas group and B School Mindful Parenting. And so there's a lot of subgroups. Lucky Bitch is now quite a big group. But a lot of those are B Schoolers as well. I think, Uncaged Lifers, that's an open group. That's a good one to join too. You don't want to join the dark side. Join the B School Mafia. So yeah, networking, a lot of it, my networking is just done on Facebook, basically. Lots of different groups. But it can get overwhelming and it is a big time waster if you're not really careful. So have you got any questions? Pop them in the box. You spent all your spare cash on Seifuku. What's Seifuku? Is that Japanese for lightsaber? I don't know. So I'll just tell you a little bit about In With a Boom. So we start tomorrow, the 7th. I will close the gates officially at midday, Japan time, JST. If you want to be in, you've got to be in by then. Or if I fill it before then, I'll just close the doors. So what I did for In With a Boom, it's the first time I've run it. What I did was take all the favorite features from the coaching and mastermind groups and accountability and everything and put it into one group. So we have a live call every 2 weeks, which will be a mastermind setup. So we can all, bounce ideas off each other. And we'll do that with Google Hangouts. Goal setting and a review every 2 weeks. So like I said, 2 weeks is a really good kind of time-wise. It gives you enough time to get stuff done without feeling too stressed out about it. And it gives you a little bit of leeway, you know, if you have sick days or whatever. So every 2 weeks we set a goal for the following 2 weeks, which is all going towards your big goal. And we review what worked and what didn't, because sometimes what you've been doing for the last 2 weeks is just not getting it anywhere. So you need to stop that and change it. So we review and set the new goals for the next 2 weeks. We've got the private Facebook group. So if you've got any problems, you can ask any questions, if you need help with anything. Limited numbers. Now my ideal number is 10. I've opened it up to 15 because I feel that some people will sign up and drop off, because that's what usually happens. So my ideal number is 10. We've got a daily check-in for accountability. So this is at the beginning of the day and at the end of your day. So you check in the morning, you say, right, today I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. You come back in the evening and say, okay, I did X and Y. I didn't get to Z done because, and this is again reviewing, you know, what's getting you distracted. Why didn't you get it done? Maybe X took you a lot longer than you anticipated. And by analyzing what you're doing or what you're not doing, you can actually use your time more efficiently, because you'll start to see patterns in where things are working and where things are not working. So yeah, your daily check-in, and yeah, it's a paid group because I want people to show up and actually do the work. I want to see results. So that's why it's a paid group. So if you want to join, I can put there's the link. Ruska's already in here. She's already a member. I have got 3 or 4 spaces left, and I would love to have you in, but the time is limited because we do start tomorrow at 12. So make sure you're in by then. Right. Okay, I just found another question. Okay, Seifuku is uniform, middle school uniform. Right, Luska said, is the coach something that's ongoing or usually a specific time period? I think a good coach will set a time period, so they'll say 3 months or 6 months or whatever. I've seen some coaches that are kind of wishy-washy, and I don't think that's a good idea to set it up like that, you know, oh, we'll work together for a couple of months and we'll see how it goes. And I think really to get results, then you need to have a deadline. So I think if you're looking at a coach and they haven't got a specific time period, you know, they'll just say like, oh, 12 sessions or something, then perhaps look at somebody who has got a specific time period, because that works better for both of you. You know, if they say 12 sessions, that could be 12 sessions over the course of a year, or it could be 12 sessions the course of 2 months. So I think really a time-specific time is better when it comes to deciding on a coach. You would love to do it if you could think of something to do. I thought you wanted to write a book. Haven't you got a book? Yes, I'm excited to start as well. It's cool. Very different from last year, where I was, at this time last year, I was still kind of like, what did I do? Right, you finished your book. Oh, you sent it to agents. Self-publish. You don't need any agents, and you'll make more money. Well, don't give up, because J.K. Rowling sent it to, I'm going to get this completely wrong, something like 52 people before she got her book, her first Harry Potter, signed up. So, and I read something this morning about Dr. Seuss. His first book, he took it to 15 different publishers before it got accepted. So keep going. Good to know when you're researching coaches. Yeah, and definitely with a coach, you want to, they usually call them a discovery call or something like that. You want to talk to them a few times and make sure they're a good fit for you. Like, a good coach won't hire you if you're not a good fit. A bad coach will take you on whether you're a fit or not, and that's not good, because you're not going to get the results that you want. So you need to make sure that you and the coach are a good fit for each other. I think finding a coach can be quite tricky. I signed up for somebody about 2 years ago, and she kind of strong-armed me into it. And she gave me all this free stuff. We did this big call, and she's like, "Oh, I'll send you the first module and everything." And as I'm going through the information, I was thinking, this isn't really what I need. But she was very aggressive. She was a very, very aggressive saleswoman. And before the actual coaching was supposed to start, I said, "Look, I'm sorry, this isn't for me." And she showed her true colours for then, and sent some really nasty emails. So I think, that obviously wasn't a good coach, because she should have known as a coach that we weren't a fit. So yeah, do take care. And if you're the first discovery call, that, like, the free chat that you have before they pitch to you, if you're still not sure, ask them if you can chat again. Like, a good coach will do that. They will let you chat to them again and listen to your concerns and answer any of your questions before you put down any money. So there are a lot of good coaches out there. If you're looking for somebody specific, let me know, and I can, I know a lot of coaches. I can send you in the right direction. Stephen King. Oh yeah, he sent his books off to lots of people too. I think it's a rite of passage, really, with authors. Or you can just go down the self-publishing route and do it that way. You get a bigger cut of the royalties. So are there any more questions? Can I help you with anything else? And I do apologise that I've been coughing and spluttering, croaking all the way through. If that is it, we'll wrap up. If you've got any questions about In With The Boom, drop me a line. I'm happy to jump on Skype or whatever. Some of this vodka, I wish it was vodka, just plain old tap water. As far as the mastermind, are all business related questions fair to ask? Yeah, sure. And I think sometimes it's not always business related, especially like our group is all mums. So sometimes it will be things like scheduling, or how do you handle looking after the kids and getting work done, and things like that as well come into it. So it's not all just setting up opt-ins and growing your mailing list or whatever. So, or do we have to focus on something based on our goals? Yeah, any kind of business questions are fair to go. So everybody is working on different things. So you're going to have questions that are related to your goal. Obviously, they're the questions you're going to be asking. And that's fair enough. Fire away. And then in the group calls, what we'll do is say you're struggling with something or you want some feedback or help, you can put that out to the group and everyone can chip in and, you know, give their opinion. It might be that some people in the group are your ideal kind of client or customer, or it might be that somebody in the group is really good at words, so they can help you, you know, with your copy for your sales page or something. So sharing it in the group, whatever it is, you're going to get some information back. You're going to get help back one way or the other. And of course, I'll help with anything and everything that I can. I've got resources coming up my butt, so I can share everything that I know or resources that I have, or point you in the right direction if I don't have the actual information myself. There's a lot of people out there that have got great free information, so, you know, I keep a list of all those people as well. So if there's anything, you know, when it comes to writing, say, power posts, which is a blog post, but it's meant really for Google, for SEO, and to get more traffic to your blog. So Shay Baxter is really good on PowerPost. She's got a lot of information on her website, and she shares some great stuff in her newsletter. So, you know, things like that, I can send you her information or whatever. So anything else? If there's anything else? I'm going to need a wee because I've been drinking so much water. It's not vodka. Honest. Right, that looks like about it. So thank you again for joining me. I did try and keep this short and sweet. In with the boom. Last pitch closes tomorrow, 12 o'clock. If you're not in by then, that's it. You're too late. I don't know whether I'll be running it again later in the year. We'll see how this one goes. I hope so. And that is it. So thank you for joining me. Thank you for writing all your questions and everything. And I will catch up with you soon. Okay, bye. Now, I'm saying bye, but I don't know how to turn this off. Okay.